Think about the last time you felt dirty, sweaty, sticky, that itch on your skin after a long, hot day. You know exactly what to do. You take a shower. Soap, water, done. 20 minutes later, you feel human again. But here's the question that sounds simple until you actually try to answer it. What did people do about this before soap existed? Before showers? Before bathrooms? Before anyone even knew that germs were a thing? For almost all of human history, people still got dirty. They still sweated. They still stank. So how did ancient humans actually clean themselves? Because the answer is a lot stranger and a lot smarter than you'd think. We treat being clean as obvious. Natural, something humans have always done. But being clean the way you are clean, lathering soap all over your body every single day, that's actually a very new idea. Most humans who have ever lived never did it once. And yet they didn't just wander around as filthy cavemen caked in dirt. That's the myth. The truth is that staying clean is a problem our ancestors were solving for millions of years, long before they were even fully human. They just solved it in ways that would look completely bizarre to you today. And this was never really about looking nice. It was about survival. A dirty body is a home for lice, fleas, ticks, and bacteria crawling into every open cut. In a world with no antibiotics, an infected wound could kill you. A gut full of parasites could slowly drain the life out of you. So evolution didn't leave hygiene to chance. The urge to get clean is older than our species itself. In fact, to find where it starts, we have to go back to a time before humans even existed. Go back millions of years, and you'll find our ancestors already cleaning each other. Watch any group of monkeys or apes today, and you'll see it. They spend hours picking through each other's fur. We call it grooming, and it's not random. They're pulling out dirt, dead skin, insects, and parasites, one by one, by hand. But here's the beautiful part. For primates, grooming isn't only about getting clean. It's how they bond. It's how they say, I trust you. We're family. I've got your back. Some scientists even think that when our groups got too big to groom everyone by hand, we replaced it with something else to keep those bonds alive. Talking. In other words, cleaning each other may be one of the roots of human conversation itself. So the very first cleaning wasn't a bath. It was fingers, patience, and each other. And the tiny creatures living on us left behind clues about our own bodies. Scientists studying human lice found something wild. The human pubic louse was passed to our ancestors from an ancient gorilla relative around 3 to 4 million years ago. By tracking these parasites, researchers can actually estimate when our ancestors lost most of their body hair, and later, when we started wearing clothes. Think about that. Our entire relationship with dirt, hair, and the things that live on our skin is written into our evolution. Cleaning ourselves isn't a habit we picked up. It's built into who we are. As humans spread across the world, water became the first real tool. Rivers, lakes, rain. The earliest bath was simply stepping into moving water and rubbing the dirt away. No soap needed. Just friction and a current. But our ancestors went further. Fire and its smoke helped drive away biting insects. And then there's ochre, that reddish earth pigment you see smeared across cave art. It wasn't just for painting. Studies suggest ochre worked as a natural sunscreen, blocking harmful UV rays. It may have repelled insects, helped stop bleeding, and even fought bacteria on the skin. One researcher called ochre maybe the first medicine. Our ancestors were coating their bodies in it tens of thousands of years ago. They weren't dirty. They were running an entire skincare routine made of earth, water, and smoke. And it wasn't only us. Our cousins, the Neanderthals, cared about their appearance too. At their sites, archaeologists found the wing bones of eagles, ravens, and vultures with cut marks, evidence they were plucking dark feathers and slicing off talons to wear as jewelry tens of thousands of years ago. Let that sink in. A species we used to mock as dumb brutes was grooming itself, decorating itself, and caring how it appeared to others. The desire to be clean and presentable is deeply ancient, older than our species alone. Then humans got clever and started inventing tools specifically for cleaning. For their teeth, they made the chew stick, a twig frayed at one end, rubbed against the teeth. The oldest ones date back to Babylonia, around 3500 BCE, and Egypt around 3000 BCE. That's the ancestor of your toothbrush. And people in some parts of the world still use it today. Then, on a clay tablet from Babylon around 2800 BCE, we find the oldest known soap recipe, fats boiled together with wood ash. But here's the twist. They mostly used it to clean cloth, not skin. Soap on the human body would take thousands more years to catch on. And around 2500 BCE, in the city of Mohenjo-daro, humans built something incredible: the Great Bath, a giant watertight brick pool, the earliest public bathhouse ever discovered. An entire city 5,000 years ago, designed around getting clean together. No one took cleanliness more seriously than the ancient Egyptians. They were terrified of disease, and they were right to link it to filth. They bathed daily. They shaved off their head and body hair completely, partly to give lice nowhere to live. Archaeologists have even found golden razors and tweezers in their tombs. Instead of soap, they scrubbed with natron, a natural salt scooped from dried lake beds to lift oil and grime off the skin. They mixed early soap-like pastes from oils and alkaline salts. They invented some of the first deodorants, blending spices like cinnamon and citrus. They even had breath fresheners. To an Egyptian, being clean wasn't just healthy, it was practically holy. The Greeks and Romans had the strangest method of all. Ready for this? They didn't wash the dirt off with soap. They oiled themselves up. They'd rub olive oil all over their body, dust themselves with ash or fine sand, and then take a curved metal tool called a strigil and scrape it all off. Oil, sweat, dead skin, and dirt peeled away in one greasy stroke. To them, a scraped body was a clean body, and bathing became the center of social life. Roman public baths, the thermae, were where people gossiped, did business, and relaxed. The ancient version of a spa, gym, and coffee shop rolled into one. Not everything was pleasant, though. In their public toilets, Romans cleaned up using a tersorium, a sea sponge on a stick that was often shared by everyone. And to whiten their teeth, some Romans gargled with urine. The ammonia in it acted as a bleaching agent. The best quality urine was even imported and taxed. Clean, by their definition. And here's the part that flips everything. For almost all of human history, clean did not mean covered in soap and scrubbed pink. In fact, blasting your skin with harsh soap every single day can strip away the natural oils and the invisible layer of good bacteria, your skin's microbiome, that actually protects you. Our ancestors, without knowing any of the science, were often gentler on their skin than we are. Oil, salt, water, ochre, a scraper, and each other's hands. They weren't dirty savages. They were running a cleaning system that had been fine-tuned over millions of years. Step back and look at the whole story. From apes picking parasites out of fur, to bodies painted in red earth, to a twig scraped against teeth, to a giant public pool 5,000 years ago, to the shower you'll probably take tonight. It's all the same instinct, stretched across millions of years. The urge to wash the world off our skin and feel new again. Cleaning isn't a modern invention. It's one of the oldest human things there is. So tonight, when you step into the shower and reach for the soap without even thinking about it, remember you're doing something humans spent millions of years figuring out. Every single ancestor in your line stayed just clean enough to survive, to heal, to keep going, long enough to eventually lead to you. They had no soap, no showers, and no idea what a germ even was. And somehow, they stayed clean enough to build everything that came next. Kind of makes you appreciate that hot water a little more. And subscribe, because there's a lot more of us to figure out.